Good morning, everybody. I hope you can all see me. I can see me, which is a good thing. We've got some things going on here. Let's get all of our logos up and running. Let's get our music started. Yeah, we've got a lot of widgets that are going on now. So we're going to see whether that works or not. So there we go. Okay, well, good morning and happy Tuesday. I see myself over here, which means my camera's running, for better or for worse. So we're going to go on ahead and switch over to the main computer here, or main monitor. You can see here. We're going to be working today with Geekway Homes. So let's go on ahead and load up their instructions for this one. I think we had, as I had said yesterday, I think we had mice involved in this one. We're going to do two things today. First thing we're going to do is we're going to work on this comic for Geekway Homes. This should take about an hour. And then after this, we're going to move on to a language, actually, is what we're going to work on. That's our second thing for today. We're going to work on a language. Okay, so we go in here. We're going to find Geekway Homes, and then we find the instructions for this card. There we go. I have audio. Look at me having audio. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. Almost. Not quite, because we don't want anybody getting ideas that I might know what I'm doing. Yeah, it looks like what I think has happened is they're working on this aspect of Restream where I've had a glitch for a while, as you know. Sometimes when I switch to my board, it cuts all audio out. And so they've been working on that, but it looks like if I switch to the board before the camera turns on, then there is no camera. So they're having some real issues with it's not quite getting better. But everything's a work in progress, and that's how everything works. So it's all good. Okay. So we're actually only 2 months behind on these comics, strangely. So Inspector looks and comes back. We might have a problem. The mice are partying. So we need to probably bring up our original story for this, our original comic. Let's see. We found the house. It's number 3, it looks like, I think is our. There we go. Okay. Now we look at the original art for number 3. We've had our mice here. And wow, just got loud. Super loud music. Hey, super loud music. Don't be so super loud. I like this piece, but it sure is loud. There we go. Okay. We're looking at this one here. We've got mice. We've got the house. So we've got to make another reference to mice. So we have mice. This is our mouse. So we're going to have a sketch layer. We're going to get ourselves some sketchy color. Here we go. And we're going to move it. All right. have our inspector. Right. Our inspector, he's whistling a tune. Inspector hat, because all inspectors have a hat apparently. Who knew? Inspector hat. Home inspection. It's going along here. He's blowing a little. There we go. So, inspector comes in. Goes to the little house. And the house looks kind of like... We've seen this house before, so we want to make sure it looks the same. House here. Alright. I have our little house. He gets beat up by the mice. Bam. We'll do a little exaggerated motion of the house. It's kind of bouncing around like this. Exaggerate the door coming off the hinges here. Little clouds indicate things going on. Right. So what we're going to do here, boom, 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 and we'll have our inspector getting kicked out on his butt. Close this door, open this door. Have the inspector kind of like this, butt in the air like this, being kicked out. His hat's coming off. Just like this, so we've got this little guy kind of flying out like that. Right? Getting his butt kicked. Right? And then at the door, Here's Bruno the mouse. And clap, clap, clap. Right? He's clapping his hands together there, like, you know, got you. Mice win over the home inspector, and that's how that works. Yeah, I hear you, but I'm working. We have a new kitten, and that is making our resident cat somewhat nervous. She's not ecstatic about the new kitten. So she's back there scratching on walls, I think. I'm not sure what she's doing, but I hear her behind me. But we can't not have an extra cat, we've decided. This is a 2-cat household, and frankly, the existing cat's not very friendly to the kid, and the kid wants a kitty. So he's been pretty good at watching the new kitten and keeping an eye on the kitten and everything like that. And so that's a real plus. Okay, we've done the rough sketch. Give him a toolbox, too. It's funnier if he's got a toolbox that's being tossed out as well. Oof. Right. So, okay. There we go. Pat, 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 says our mouse. He's not putting up with that guy anymore, the inspector. The mice have control of this house. I feel like that's too big. Like, he's too big, so maybe we should shrink this down by making the door bigger. I know, that's logical. There we go. Give ourselves a door jam here. Something reasonable the mouse is working out of. Okay. So this is one of those projects that I do for Geekway Homes. And it was supposed to have been done earlier, but I'm having such problems with Photoshop that I ended up not doing it. Now I'm doing it in Clip Studio Paint because I can't get Photoshop to run. So, not stably anyway. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just go on ahead and start getting into the habit of doing this in Clip Studio. And I don't know, that seems like a bad business model for Adobe, but don't have much of a choice in the matter at this point, you know? So let's go ahead and add a new vector layer. I'm going to do that. So we're going to add this new vector layer. And with this new vector layer, I can actually start adding in lines. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Right. There we go. Just like this. He's a throwaway character, so I'm not terribly worried about details on this. He's just some guy. So we're just going to go on ahead and put in that. I'm going to put in this little hat there. Give him there you go. So give him a little, like, there you go. Home inspection. There we go. And that's, we're just going to put in a little roof. Just like that. I guess the house won't pass inspection if the door's all bowed out like that, but hey, it's a cartoon. Right? There we go. We'll add in some details to the house. There's a little house going on here. A kid scratched somewhere on the line. That's okay. And we'll clean this up in a minute and go back over it with. I like this, but I want him higher up. I want him also not to have that stall. I'm having that with. Okay. He had a pointy nose. Someone let him have a pointy nose here. There are his arms. Like this. Probably get rid of that. There we go. Here's his butt. Wow. Right. Work. That's just wow. Well, okay. Now we're getting out of the building here. Wow. He's being tossed out on his butt. Whatever. Right here we'll put the little mouse. Done it. Right. There we go. There we go. Just like that. Do. Oh, he forgot his little toolbox, which he's going to need. And the mice win the day. Needless to say, the house did not pass inspection. We're just saying. Right? There we go. Alrighty. Just like that. Poor guy. Mice just pretty much got him knocked out of the house. Right? Looks good. There's some grass over here so we can have that. All right. We'll move on to this guy. Give him some comically big ears. He's a mouse after all. That is not the way I want to do his face. Kind of like giving him a wider bottom part of his face because he's Bruno. Black. Bruno. Bruno's a big mouse. He's willing to take out that inspector. Bruno. There we go. All right. Good old Bruno. That's to remind me to color that black. When we're done with all of this. Okay, so next question that I have is okay, so this one works in conjunction with the next comic. The next comic has the mouse saying that there was an objection to they're not leaving, and so the inspector's been kicked out. All right. Let's adjust the line width. I want to scale down some pieces, like his eyes right through here. Right. A little bit up here on the hair. And this top part of Bruno's head should be scaled down just a little. There we go. And his ear. Right. Let's make Bruno a little less. There. And just bring down things on this left side so it's not quite as dramatic. There we go. So I'm just trying to get kind of the highlight on the upper left side to be a little bit more, a little thinner, like through here. There we go, I like that. There, just like that. Looks good. I like this. Let's go ahead and turn the blue line off so I can get a good idea of what things look like here. Right? And just kind of, like I said, I just want kind of a little bit of artistic bend to some of this stuff here. Right. I've often said it's about the line work. There you go. Now we're going to take a little bit of these. We're just going to bring them down so that they all attach. No reason for them to not be attached. There we go. We're just cleaning up some of this artwork so that the lines all fit and things go in the right spot. So, always that. That's great. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to bring this in and bring this up. And just making this collar kind of stick out a little there. I feel kind of like this doesn't emphasize that he's whistling as much. I kind of want to make that a little bit clearer. Or whatever. I feel like his chin could be a little bit more chin-like. I'm just gonna... There. Good. We'll take the eraser and we'll kill that, because that's just in the way. Back to there. Back down to here. We'll clean this up so this is all in the same spot, just like that. I'm seeing a lot of trash up here. Boy, I couldn't do this right if I tried, it looks like to me. Look at the mess this thing is. Ugh, this whole top part of the cap's a disaster area. There we go. I'm just bringing this cap around, making it look a little bit better. Just like that. Do that. I'll show you what we're going to do when we do this. This is going to be great. And we're just going to hit the eraser tool and go warp, 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 warp. There we go. Warp. Let's clean some of this stuff up. Warp. It's messy. There we go. Now my home inspector looks much better. We're going to do the same thing over here. We're just going to tap intersections when we know we've gone too far. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Okay. There we go. So that's, I think I'm liking the inking to some degree here. Probably tap that. There we go. Bonk. Get rid of that. This looks pretty good. I'm feeling like I'll go on ahead and clear that. We get a lot more out of it whenever all the colors go in. The colors, because of course this is a black and white comic. I have to see how this works. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is... I'm on the wrong layer. There. Now the next thing I want to do is take the controls here and connect the vector lines. One of the weirdest things about Clip Studio, and I'm not sure why they do, is you can't fill in vector mode. I'm not exactly sure what that's all about. But for those of you who are wondering, the company who makes Clip Studio Paint is called Celis. C-E-L. Celsius, maybe? C-E-L-S-Y-S. Anyway. Those guys worked with an artist named Monkey Punch. And they created Clip Studio Paint. Monkey Punch is a manga artist responsible for Lupin III. And before he passed away, very recently, he was responsible for a lot of the innovations in the innovations, yes, that's the whole point. Like, this inspector stood no chance, right? Monkey Punch was responsible for a lot of the innovations that we now know in manga art construction. He was involved in this program a lot, and he was involved in the creation of this program. So, that's one of the reasons why it works so well for manga, is that it was created by a manga artist. Or, I guess, he collaborated, but that's all right, my friend. You do you. You do what you need to do. If you need to work, you can work. So, Home inspection. Mouse kicks him out. Mouse house is not up for sale. So this is based, by the way, on a true story. To some degree. When I sat down with Nate to work on this arc, we decided to do a year arc where we would have a comic where you watch this family, this young couple who's having a baby. And the couple is trying to find a new house. They live in a little apartment. Now they need a house. And so, the realtor, our hero, of course, Nate, is taking them to all these places to look at houses. And they go to this house and then, and stuff like that. Well, this actually happened to my wife and me. It was actually kind of funny. Our realtor took us around. I had only one requirement, and that was I really didn't want that ranch layout where you have the living room and then a hallway and then 4 rooms, So that's just so boring to me. I wanted a house with interesting architecture. I wanted something that didn't have just that same ranch layout. And it's not anything against people who live in ranch layouts. I just had lived in enough ranch layout houses that it was boring to me. So I wanted something different. So that was the instruction that was given to our realtor. And she found us some good houses. She really did. This is long before I knew Nate. So it wasn't, this is no reflection on Nate. We didn't know him at the time. We just moved back to Colorado. This was right after Japan. And so we were looking through houses. She sends us to this beautiful little 2-story house. One of those tri-levels where it's got a mid-level living room and then a half basement down and a half second floor up. And I was like, oh, this is a nice house. This works. It's not it's kind of one of those cookie cutter 70s houses that they made, but it's still okay. It's totally fine. But then we opened the closets and there were mouse droppings everywhere. And the house had been abandoned for a while. You should be like, I like those split levels. They're cool. That's not ranches suck. Yeah, Brett and I are on the same team. Come on. Those little 1-story ranches are just... I have this horrible fear that I will grow old and we will be stuck in a ranch. Anyway, mouse house. So the house had all these mouse droppings all over it. I was like, ooh, that's pretty brutal. So that was, we didn't get that house. We said, we don't like the idea. And more entertaining, it seems like they wanted an extra $50,000 for it or something like that than it was really worth. And so it was just really weird. Anyway, the long story short on that one was we called that the mouse house. But the next house was this house. And this house is perfect. I've been here now 8 years, and I still feel like this is the perfect house. So there's nothing. But the story is pretty much exactly what happened with my wife and I. The only difference is that my kid was already with us at the point. It's just that he was very small. He's not very small anymore, but he was 4, maybe 3. So he wasn't very old. I think he was 3. And he was old enough to get himself in trouble in those houses, but not old enough really to remember it. So as far as he remembers, this is the only house that we've really ever had because he's got, it's a thing. So this is based on a relatively true story. So it's always a thing. There's always a story. So this is the mouse house. And our inspector has just gotten kicked out of the mouse house. So now we will go on ahead. Now that we've done this, we're going to go on ahead and I'm just going to put in the layer controls on this. And I want to try out using the onboard textures. So we're going to try those out. Because we've got these textures here, right? Dot patterns and lines and some gradients and cross-hatching and things like that. And I'm kind of curious as to what cross-hatching or what different patterns I could put in the background here. Right? So, here's some effects. We're going to try some of these, look around. Now, here's the thing about Clip Studio Paint. Look to see vortexes. Vortices. Pop glitter. I'm looking for clouds, really. I know that there's clouds under backgrounds, but I don't want to... Ooh, flash of light. Yes, download from cloud. So we shall download from cloud. It will take a while. Or it shouldn't take that long. Or it will take a long time. Looks like nothing is allowing me to exist anymore. Okay. We are downloading from cloud in theory. Nope. Now this is on a different object layer, so let's go ahead and resize it. I see that we can only grab these things on the screen. It's kind of silly. Okay. Wham! By Whammo. Okay. Let's look to see if they've got any... Okay, let's look for backgrounds. So these backgrounds are way more advanced than... But I can put some clouds in at least. I like how it put it behind there. That was kind of weird. But okay, that's fine. All right. We do definitely have an issue with too many widgets. Okay, so the home inspector is going to go look at the house. He's coming up on the house here. And actually, I have to tone this guy too. All right, so let's trim this down. this part. You see? Oh, we're not. Not fine. I have to render it down. Here is the first time of us ever using these, so we'll have to see how it works. Rasterize. Rasterize. There we go. Now I should be able to just delete like normal. That's fine. And then, look, I've got this crookedness going for me again. It's so weird that I always slant upward. Such a strange concept. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. The house is pretty simple. And I feel like it is just enough that if I don't tap it like this, there we go. This guy's sort of more complicated, so I'm probably just going to wait until I've got like that. Just going to just erase in here so that he's not. This will help make him stand out a little. I'm also going to keep the little poof clouds here out of the background texture. Boom, right? Now I kind of want this guy to have a gray uniform of some sort. You know what I mean? So we're gonna give him a little texture for that too. So we'll go back over here in my textures and toning. Monochrome. And give him more like, let's see here, let's just go for dots. Feel like probably that, right? I kind of feel that way. So if I were to take that, can I fill with that? Nope. Can I make a mistake? Yep. But that's not filling with this. So I need to just bring in the tone like that. Bring in the tone. Bring in the tone. And that's a whole layer of tone. Okay? Cool. So let's try this. If I go in here and I go work, no. Bork? Everything is just slightly different. Alright? So let's do shift, U. That's pretty much all. Various hat. Right? I don't know if I can get enough over here. Let's try. Nope. So, Control Shift. I. Now we'll go back up here. Now the real question is it worth it to try to patch everything together for a good fill, or just to go around the edges here. So on the main, on 3 here, select, deselect. On 3, what I could probably do, if we turn off main, is look, and that's part of our problem right there. So maybe that's actually just an easy fix. Take a straight line and go like that. Maybe that's just an easy fix. Right? There's a couple of things I want to fix down here though. Before we adjust the line width, scale down, let's just do this. Connect to the vector lines so that these are all connected. There we go. Now this guy should be easy to just select like that. He is. And shift. Shift the O. His collar and his hat. Good. Now, yeah! Who's the man? I am the man. The man, it's me. Let's get rid of the clouds. Bring back main, and we have an operating, functioning comic. Look at that. This area here, I kind of wonder if I can't just get in there and just do the work. Go for the vector, and 3. Kill that and kill that. This guy should be all sealed in theory. I guess we'll find out how sealed in he is. Let's find very dense, like the U, and just do that. Okay, so you worked before, but you won't work now. Why won't you work now? Because the color was wrong. Undo. So if we're in here, let's find ourselves in a very dark. Almost black. Thank you. A very interesting issue. Makes me wonder. Yeah, see? So there's something about these black ones. There we go. That works. So now I know why there's no fill function here. It's because there's a zip tone function, which I can get. And that's kind of cool, but it does make it for a very complicated thing. So we'll go back to layer 3. We'll select the roof and shift select that part there. And I'm going to actually kind of find pretty dark for you guys right there. There. Weeks. I'm liking it. Okay. just about on time. So I'm going to save this. We're going to save as JPEG so that I can hand it off to client to see what client wants. Now close. All right. So here is our new thing we're going to try. So you've heard me talk about the fact that I really like Aurebesh, which is the font, the texture, the words used in Star Wars. And I have felt like in the intervening 300 or 500 years since they left Earth, there would be a distance of, all the languages of Earth got all mushed together into one language, which everybody speaks. And so, because there was a bottleneck in the human race in the story about 450 years ago. So since then, we've blossomed back out again. But about 450 years ago, there was this bottleneck that brought us down to very, very low rates of people. So I figured that there has to be a language, and I love the Aurebesh language that they use in Star Wars, and I wanted to do my own. And what we're going to do about this is we're going to just create gobbledygook effectively. So, what I have here is there's a website called Calligrapher. And if you pay $8, you get a 1-month license to do any font you want. So I'm going to do 2 fonts. One font is going to be the handwriting font of Chang Li, so that we can just have her do the handwriting part. And then and that will be translated for all you people to read whenever she writes. But I want the feel of a handwritten document, like she's writing in a diary or something like that. So we're going to do that. But the other thing we're going to do is this Aurebesh, this language that is going to be the standard. So I'm going to do a number of these. I'm going to do a very prim and proper version of it, and then we're going to do a less prim and proper version of it. So we're going to create a new vector layer. Okay. We're going to come in here. We're going to work on some of this vector here. I'm going to start with a, I could go on ahead and do the logic where we have more, but the truth of the matter is I'm just going to use my normal keyboard to write all these words up. So we're just going to create the characters. And these are ascenders and these are descenders. And these are capitals. And it doesn't actually matter. I'm going to completely and totally not even mess with it. I'm going to assume that there's 40 some odd characters. So it's going to have a very Chinese-esque looks to it. These are the, again, capitals. The only difference between capitals and lowercase will be that the capitals will be taller. So you'll have characters that, you know what, maybe I should come up with a logic for all of these. He says, after he's already written everything, I like this. I'm not so sure about that. Oh, the music got loud again. I think I'm going to make the capital characters to be more like iconography. So, maybe, I don't know. Cheap and be less dramatic. So it's very similar to the character mother or mom in Chinese. This is very similar to the character. And after we've done this, we're going to make another set of these characters using this as sort of a background. We're going to make the capitals or the Arial font. So, father character is an X with a cross over it like this. That's how you spell father in Chinese. So, I'm going to mimic it and do that, which makes it look very much like fire, more like fire. But each one of these characters is going to mean something specific. Let's undo those. Let's see here. So if we were to pick some of the other characters that are very basic, you have like sun, right? Not sun like child, but sun like star. These make some sense to have sort of base characters that look similar to Chinese, just enough to Chinese that you're like, maybe they have inherited these Chinese characters, so plausible. And then here we're going to have, now that I'm looking at these though, I kind of feel like I want them to sit on the line, so maybe I want to shrink these down just a little bit. Make them at least behave a little. There we go. This character is similar to Mother. Okay. And this character is similar to Character. No. I just want you to shrink. Okay. Now we can move this guy over just here. There. The next thing we're going to do is, what are else some of the, hey, none of that. Some of the base characters that we use in Chinese. The basic characters we could use horse, which we can sort of mimic this way. That's a base character. We can make that work too. Let's see. We've got Arrow, which is a very and that's actually bow. We'll use bow. So let's see, what other base characters would you have? Let's see, thinking this out. We want let's see. We'll have trying to think of some of the more base characters that we would use. We got father, mother, son. I could use, if I had my base characters, whatever. Nope. Not that son. Thanks for helping, but that's not what we're looking for. Sun is in star. First grade kanji. Because your first grade kanji ones are always the easiest. Grade 1 kanji. Because I feel like these are your numbers. Then you've got, there we go, we'll do that. All right. Grade 1 kanji. Number. That's useful. Character. Outside. So you'll have out. Sound. That's a good one. Sound is one, which looks like I'm making them look similar to, but not exactly like your first grade kanji. This should be enough that people will look at this and go, that looks like, and that's the idea, right? Heaven. Heaven's a good one. And in fact, I think I'll leave some of these exactly as they were. Rain. Rain is a good one. Right. Student. We're back to very loud music. Oh, mouth. Mouth is sort of basic. Well, that seems too basic. Rice patty. I'm like picking and choosing now. Now we got water. And then we've got gold. Gold is a good one. Right? I am very much stylizing these. These are not 100% accurate. I like how sword is a first grade kanji. Sword. That's a good one. Dog. Dogs. Dog. No, let's not do dog. Because it looks like a person. Person should be person. Right? It's a person walking. Excuse me. And then here. Let's see how he moves. I see these guys ended up with accidental descenders. I didn't really want descenders. Forest, walking, exit. Exit's good. Because we can add triangles. I didn't have triangles before. And then we have bug. You know, I'm going to write bug because bug. And bug. Enter, exit, walk, middle. Middle's useful. Right. And woman, red, blue, oh, river. I'm looking up at the top part of these. Up, down, up might be useful. Looks like a 1. There, up, and then same with down. Right. Here we go. What's going to happen is these are going to look like what they're supposed to sort of become. Oh, flower. Flower is cool. Let's see here. How do I want to stylize this so that I can kind of get... Where was I? I was going to say, flower isn't this. That's not flower. Gotten out of control here. Got out of control. Flower would be that. There we go. Book. Right. I feel like that's a good book. let's see, what else do we want? We've got the sun, and then we need moon. Sun and moon probably be useful. So if that's the sun, that's the moon. And we have rain. We have heaven, which came across pretty much exactly as it was before, except reversed on the lengths of things. I'm trying to decide which one do I want. There's left and right, which pretty much are base characters with a roof over their heads, so that's not useful. There's energy. That's kind of a thing. I feel like if you had that, you could represent shell or money. And then vehicle. Vehicle seems like a good one. Right? That one looks good. And this is good. I think we're getting very close. We need two more. There's man and woman, and I think those are very useful characters. So we got man, and we've got woman. There we go. And that is our uppercase alphabet. That works. Now, some of the key things that we're going to need are zeros have been zeros for as long as time has existed. 1 can be this. 2 can be this. 3, 4 should be, I mean, these are enough that you can kind of see what's going on. 4 should be, maybe? No. Four. You know what has 4 sides? A box. There's no boxes down here. Just straight boxes. That's why we've got dots and lines in them. 5. A hand making 5. Very human-centric, but this is sort of a human-centric language. 6. I feel like numbers should be easier than this. I'm kind of feeling less like, I like Roman numerals, right? 1 has always been 1. That's fair. Zero has always been 0. There are no straight up circles. 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. 5, 6, 7? No. 7. 8. Let's not make this too complicated, guy. 9. Yeah, that's my thought, is this would be a mix between all the languages of the world. Well, the primary, I mean, if you look at all the people on the planet, the people who speak, these are the characters of the majority of the people on this planet. I mean, I'm thinking that they probably were willing to concede a small amount of points to I would think that they would concede a certain number of points to the English languages and things like that. And we will. How should we end? You know what would be interesting is if all sentences ended with a signal that was like a solid line to indicate something had happened here. And I don't know if I want a music sound, but if I were to take and do this as a wall, like to indicate that the sentence is ended. This is the end of the sentence. So I intend, by the way, to just write normally and then have the font convert everything over. So that's my theoretical concept here, is I intend to have just you do you boo. You do, you know what I mean? So and we're going to go on ahead and like that. That way I can have quotes and quotes. Some things will just stay the same. Ampersand. So the ampersand is always something that people have a different concept of every time. I mean, my mom used to write an E with 2 dots on it like that. And I feel like a certain amount of commonality to things makes some sense. So I feel like if you've got some commonality like that, and then a question mark being an actual question mark, I feel like you could tell that was a question, you could tell that that was an and. That seems like a thing. Like an exclamation point should be an exclamation point, right? If we quote things, it should be like that. There we go. Right? So if we have a number, And that's pretty cool. Right? So we will do this, and our percent looks like an X that's been involved in a car accident, and I'm working on it here, guys. But the other thing is to remember that there are a number of creatures that are also involved in the Unity now, not just humans. So some of these characters are probably borrowed from Unity languages too, other Unity creature languages. So this is the common language for 15 or 16 different races, including a number of humans who all had to sit down and agree on a unified language. And then I don't know what to think about dollars. This looks like simoleons from Sims, because it doesn't have two crosses through it. But actually, you know what? I used shell below, but what if I reuse? There. So it's literally N from Japanese. And that way, if I ever come up with need for putting a dollar sign or something, it's going to put in N instead. So, then the pound sign should be this is page 1. We need to do the other side of the brackets here. But I do the /. Okay, so it is just what it is. So we'll just do backslashes like it is. And up here, was there the other bracket? Okay. So in this one, we'll do that. Open. Where'd it go? Open. Now we'll do the lowercase. And the lowercase is going to be a different set of characters completely. Right? Languages, Unispeak, to open. File, new layer, vector layer. And caret. And the underline can just be underline. The underline can be underline. Things with an apostrophe in the middle of them or around them will just be a dot. And now we'll start dealing with the lowercase. Okay. So A on lowercase, this is where we're going to end up with those characters that look like this. And B, these are obviously not the complicated characters that we've got for the uppercase. The uppercase being used for the more ideographics. C, D, most people will write in these lower graphics. E. Let's do F. How does that look compared to B? That's fine. H. I want to keep these characters down to as much as possible one ideogram, or one or two strokes. So I can be that, and J can be that. There's always a 3. I don't know what the story is, but there's always a 3. Not only that, this gives for an interesting misleading, because that's not the number 3. So, okay. No. If you're going to do it backwards. Right. L. M. N. Now I start getting problems with creativity issues here. Oh. I have to remember that they should be able to, these are like runes. People should be able to write this fast. So, we want them to be able to So these characters would represent a number of different things. Also, they have to look distinct enough that maybe I should look at runes. That's probably what I should look at. Because if I look at Norse runes, right? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Yeah, there's 24 runes. There's actually more if I do the Old Norse Scandinavian runes, right? So, we'll do that. Let's actually clear this board. Let's start from and we will make these Nordic runish. Okay. We'll try to avoid some of the ones that are obviously like a thing. But A can be like that. No, too complicated. Nobody's gonna write that. They'll write that though. No, and I think that actually is A-ish. Okay, A, B, C, Wow. There we go. Some of these are harder than it looks. Sadly, I don't know how long it takes to upload one of these languages, so can't really, or one of these fonts, so I can't show you before this is over how this is going to look. Right. It's kind of a bummer, because it'd be cool if I could. Yep, we stalled there. The Unity symbol uses that character a lot. I think I'll actually go ahead and add the arrow to it. That's the crescent. For Unity. Reusing old symbols is a time-honored tradition. Dang it. I feel like I'm there. Okay. Gone into the fascinating land here. Don't forget to dot your alien. Only a handful more we need to come up with. Yeah. This is going to look great. It's going to look just like a bunch of weird characters. Okay. Which I think people will probably circle that ... and make it easier. I like the that's this guy. Okay, we only have 4 more to go. We got to come up with 4 more runes. So let's go for Greek. And Greek runes look a lot like Norse runes in a lot of ways. So let's try Hebrew runes. Because Hebraic runes might be a little bit more. Also a derivative of. But we get a couple more things. We get U from Hebrew, and we can get U which that's an interesting character. We won't see that a lot because it's X. So we'll see it some, but we won't see it a lot. And then looking at the last of the Hebrew characters, we do have like this character. It's like this. And then with a cross through it like that. I feel like that is a good base alphabet. A little bit of runes from Norse and some runes from... I didn't put any Arabic in there. There's no Arabic alphabet. So I feel like that's something that should also be represented, is a small amount of Arabic as well. Like, get a mishmash of everything. So, let's look at the commons. Commons are R, S, T, L, N, and E. And yes, I learned that from Wheel of Fortune. So, R, S, T, L, N, E. So these are the ones we're going to see the most. So let's talk about them. We don't want them to look too similar. So that's important. Okay, let's do a couple of little checks here. I like this guy. He looks cool. But I really want this T right here to be something different. So let's make him something that looks very Arabic. That's definitely an Arabic character. You're not going to miss that. But the idea is that it's supposed to be a mishmash of every language you've got. N is good. L is fine. E, we should also seriously make some kind of weird concession to English. So, either you or you. I feel like
feel like I will take... I kind of like all the rest of them. They all look good. Although, to be fair, we're going to have a lot of these guys together. So I think I'll get rid of you and put in concession to English.
What would be the most English-looking character? If you were to definitely see something, you'd be like, oh, that's definitely an English character. So, let's see here. And in the wrong place. That's important. It's got to be in the wrong place. So we can't just use R, because R would fit in R. And we don't want anybody to... this is supposed to be gobbledygook, but look consistent. So I'm just going to write store on things, and you're going to end up with S-T-O, and then R, and then E. And we're going to see that word and go, oh, that means store. And I don't want people to get caught up on it literally saying store. I may even spell it backwards just to make it work. I have everything written backwards because I don't want people to use this as some kind of code. That's not the idea. The idea is to make it consistent in the background but still look alien to some degree. So I'm going to use 3 because I feel like that's Cyrillic as well. That covers Cyrillic and English in its, even though it's an Arabic numeral. Ha 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 ha. We're all funny. Okay. That should cover that. I don't use these that much, so I'm not as worried. I usually use that. Tilde. Tilde doesn't come up that often. Definitely. You're going to be you. Alright. Pound is also just now one unified character. Because we all use the same character for money now. Might as well just use a tilde. I'll just continue to use these guys as they are. I don't even know. Dash, 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 dash. Okay, we did something with quotes on the other page. What are we doing with quotes on this page? Those are straight up quotes. Because there's advanced quotes on the other page. So we'll just use that. But for these quotes, because they're going sideways, I'm not sure what these are. Still kind of trying to figure that out. So, looks like record and play. Almost. I'll go on ahead and put these in. And then just accept that some of these don't make sense. Now we did do the normal period over here, right? So, about 4 minutes left on this guy. So, yeah, I figure, thinking about it logically, if our culture was reduced down to an average of 1 out of every 10 folks, and you just decimated our population literally, or reverse decimated our population, in which you save a decimation of the population. So we only ended up with 1/10 of our population. But it was non-biased. We'd end up with a ton of Chinese, because they've got the heaviest portion of the world's population. We'd end up with a lot of Indians from India, and very few, very, very, very few from those indigenous tribes. So creating a new language that covers everybody's language would be mostly, I believe, biased towards Chinese, because everybody, although we don't have any Hindi in here, and I'm noticing we don't have a lot of Hindi, so I may go back and work on the Hindi on this, try to kind of come up with a concept on that, because there probably would be more Hindi in this, influence from that area. The characters should be very influenced from Asia and the Asian culture, and all of Southeast Asia would be really heavily influenced. So that's my thought. You have to tell me how that reads to you guys. So I'll go ahead and minimize this, and I can close that, and I can close that. Okay. Okay, guys. Well, we are at the end of the show, and we've gone on for 2 hours, 2 different topics. We've got many more to go, but I can't do buildings until I have all of these, until I have the language figured out. So we're going to do the language. This is the handwritten version of the language. I'm going to then go back in with lines and circles and make the very straight up version of this language. Now that we've got this, so I'll just be duplicating it out. That's going to be easier. All I need to do then is just have a layer, and then a layer on top of it that's all just straight lines and boxes, so that you can see all the characters in straight lines and boxes, sort of, how buildings look, sort of things. So, okay, guys, that's the end of the show. Thank you for joining me. Have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow. We're going to work a little more on languages tomorrow, I think. So we'll be doing that. That'll be fascinating, I think. So it was good to have you here, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.